Hello students. So today we are going to see this new chapter, computer organization. Okay. So this is the third chapter and we will see this learning objectives. So to in this chapter to know the organization of the computer components and their interconnection. So we are going to see the organization or placing of certain components in the circuit in such a way that it will be very easy to access it. Okay, so we are going to see the interconnection of these components to know the processor and their characteristics. Okay, so we'll see the processor, how many types of processors are there, and how the different types of processor work in different environment. So this we are going to see in this chapter to know the importance of memory devices and their role in the computer. So different types of memory devices and how do they use in the computer system. And the next thing to explore RAM, ROM, and differentiate each of them. Okay, so we are going to see what is RAM and what is ROM and what is the difference between each of them. To know about cache memory and how it improves the performance of the computer. So cache memory is a type of memory that is used in the CPUs in such a way that it will improve the performance of the CPU. So we are going to see that too. To know the secondary devices and their usages. Okay, so secondary memory devices is the device that are used to store information, or it's a memory unit that is used externally outside the computers. So next is to know the port and interface so that external devices can be connected. Okay, so port, you all know USB port, uh, serial port, HDMI ports, the 3.5 jack, audio jack. So these are all the ports and plugs that are used to connect devices into the uh, computer. Okay, so we are going to see the ports and interfaces in detail. Okay, so the first thing is introduction. The computer deals with the hardware components of the computer system. It includes input and output devices, the central processing unit, storage devices, and primary memory. It is concerned with how the various components of the computer hardware operates. It also deals with how they are interconnected to improve to implement and computer architectural specification. Uh, the term computer organization looks similar to the term computer architecture, but the computer architecture deals with the engineering consideration involving in designing a computer. On the other hand, computer organization deals with the computer components that are transparent to the programmer. So here there is an important two mark here, differentiate between computer architecture and computer organization. So computer architecture means it is an engineering design oriented work. Okay, so the term computer architecture deals with the engineering consideration involved in designing a computer. Okay, you'll just design the CPU in such a way that you will be placing the components in which is efficient and less electric usage. So you'll be designing the um, entire system. Okay, so on the other hand, computer organization deals with the hardware components that are transparent to the programmer. So computer organization is dealing with the hardwares like resistor, plugs, ports, um, and sockets and the interfaces. So you'll be knowing that where the port should be placed and what is the hardware should be used for this configuration. So everything is known as computer organization. So next is basics of microprocessor. So microprocessor is a chip that is that is that is capable of uh, handling or executing the instruction that we provide. Okay, so that is the brain of computer. It is also known as CPU. Microprocessor, CPU, everything are the same. Okay, so in our real world, Intel, AMD are the different companies that produce microprocessor. So the famous the most commonly used CPUs is the Intel i3, i5, i7, and recently they have released i9 also. Okay, so you can see that it is dual core. All the uh, all the latest technology will be there in the CPU. Okay, so dual core technology and cache, internal cache, and the size of the internal cache will be a little larger, and it can handle multiple number of cores, multi-threading. So these are all the different things that we'll see in the chapter. Okay, so basics of microprocessor. The CPU is the major components of the computer which performs all tasks. Uh, this is realized by the microprocessor, which is an integrated chip. Okay, integrated circuits means integrated IC. Okay, we'll see this. So this is a example of an IC. Okay, so this is an example of IC Intel 4004. Okay, so 4004. So in your computer it will be a bigger one. It will here in this IC you can see that only 8 pins are there. So in computers there will be more than 60 to 70 pins. Okay, it will be having a very large very large size. It will be a size of your palm. Okay, not that much. Okay, so it will be a quarter size of your palm, and and you can see that it will be fixed inside the CPU board. CPU will be fixed in the motherboard, and this will be processing all the tasks that you are doing in the computer. Okay, so here you can see that microprocessor was first introduced in the year 1970s. The first general purpose microprocessor was 4004, was developed by Intel Corporation. So the microprocessor is a programmable multi-purpose silicon chip. It is driven by clock pulse. Okay, so this is an important remark. What is clock pulse? The clock pulse is the time signal that is used inside the CPU. So it will uh, have a clock internally, so that at every clock pulse an instruction uh, will be executed. Okay, so it may be seconds or it can be hertz, any clock time. Okay, so uh, yeah, a better CPU will have more instruction per clock pulse, and lesser performance CPU will have less instruction per clock pulse. Okay, so a clock pulse may be a second or it may be frequency. Frequency means hertz. Okay, so you know that. So it accepts input as a binary data and offers, and after processing it provides the output data as per the instructions stored in the memory. A block diagram of a microprocessor based system is shown in figure 3.1. Okay, so this is a block diagram. You give input to the microprocessor process it, and you get the instruction from the memory, and it produces the output. So next is the microprocessor is made up of three main units. There are arithmetic and logical unit, control unit, and register. So arithmetic and logical unit performs arithmetic and logical uh, instructions based on the computer instruction. Okay, so arithmetic means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and logical means greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So these are all the logical operations. Next is control unit. It controls all the peripherals, all the components in the computer. So next is register. This is a smallest unit of memory. Okay, so it can hold I think 2 bits to 3 bits. um, the They are used to hold the instruction and data for the execution of the processor. Okay, so there will be so many registers that will handle data uh, by bit operation, bitwise operation, which will be done. Okay, so the microprocessor is able to communicate with the computer unit and input and output devices as shown in figure 3.2. Okay, so the microprocessor will connect or communicate with the input device and output devices, memory unit, read only memory, and random access memory. So this memory will hold the instruction that we provide to execute. Okay, uh, so next is uh, characteristics of microprocessor. A microprocessor performance depend on the following characteristics. Okay, clock speed, instruction set, word size, speed, um, speed measurements, hertz. This observation of hertz is HR. Abbreviation of HR is HZ. Is the standard unit of measurement used for measuring frequency. Since frequency is measured in cycles per second, 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycle per second. Hertz is commonly used to measure wave frequencies such as sound waves, light waves, and radio waves. For example, the average human ear can detect sound waves between 20 and 20,000 hertz. Sound waves close to 20 hertz has a lower pitch called bass frequency. Sound waves above 5000 hertz have higher pitch called terrible frequency. Okay, while hertz can be used to measure wave frequency, it is also used to measure the speed of the computer processor. For example, each CPU is rated at specific clock speed. The This number indicates how many instruction cycles the processor can perform in every second. So, since modern processor can perform millions and even billions of instructions per second, clock pulses are typically measured in megahertz and gigahertz. Okay, so in CPUs, it is known our voice signal and sound is measured using hertz. Okay, so the number of cycles or number of occurrence per second is known as 1 hertz. So in CPU, number of instruction per second or number of instruction executed per clock pulse is known as a hertz. Okay, so in modern CPUs there will be more number of instruction executed per clock pulse, so it will be given in megahertz or gigahertz. So the clock speed, so every microprocessor has an internal clock that regulates the speed at which it executes instruction. The speed at which the microprocessor executes the instruction is called the clock speed. Clock speed is measured in megahertz or in gigahertz. Next is instruction set, a command which is given to a computer to perform operation on data is called instruction. So the basic instruction set of machine level instructions that a microprocessor is designed to execute is called instruction set. Okay, so you will be giving an instruction to the microprocessor. So this, while designing the microprocessor itself, they will be creating the instruction set. Okay, that means if you want to add two numbers, there will be a command such as add. Okay, so if you want to store information to a memory, store is an instruction. Okay, so likewise this it will be having some English words as an instruction to do some actions. Okay, so I'm just telling you the basics of instruction set, but it will be having all kinds of instruction for copying, pasting, and testing the devices. So everything will be there in the instruction set. Okay, so this instruction set carries out the following types of operation: data transfer, arithmetic operation, logical operation, control flow, uh, input and output. Okay, so these are all the operations that are handled, or the commands for this operation will be there in instruction sets. Okay, so next is word size, the number of bits that can be processed by the microprocessor in a single instruction is called the word size. Okay, normally in olden computers it will be 8 bit and 16 bit, but nowadays you can see that 32 bits and 64 bits are the commonly used word size microprocessor in the market. Okay, so you can see that Intel i3 processor is available in both uh, 32 bit and 64 bit. Okay, so that means so it can handle 32 bits of information in a single instruction. Okay, so 64 bit means it will handle 64 bits of information in single instruction. The first commercial microprocessor, Intel 4004, is the 4-bit processor. Uh, it has 4 input pins and 4 output pins. The number of input pins is always equal to the number of output pins. It can process 4 bits at a time, so it is called as 4-bit processor. So Intel is the manufacturer of the microprocessor. Clock speed is 740 kilohertz per second. So 740,000. Okay, 7 lakhs 40,000 hertz is the clock speed of this microprocessor, and it can the size of the microprocessor is 10 microns, uh, and you can see that transistor, it consists of uh, 2300 transistors, and data with is 4 bits, and package has 16 pins. Okay, so 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay, so this side 8 and the next side it will have 8 pins, so 8 plus 8 is 16 pins. Okay. uh, Intel Corporation released many microprocessor like Intel 8085, which is an 8-bit processor, Intel 8086, which is a 16-bit processor, and so on. Currently, most of the microprocessor are 32 bits and 64 bits architecture. Next, we will see this data communication between CPU and memory. So, the central processing unit has two types of register, which is memory data register and memory address register. The memory data register keeps the data which is transferred between the memory and the CPU. So, uh, memory data register will have the data to transfer from memory to the CPU. Uh, the program counter, so the PC, is a special purpose or special register in the CPU which always keeps the address of the next instruction to be executed. So this is an important to mark. What is program counter? Program counter is a special register that consists of address of the next instruction to be executed in its memory. So the arithmetic and logical unit of the CPU places the address of the memory to be fetched in the memory address register. Okay. So this arithmetic and logical unit keeps the address of next instruction in the address memory address register, so that this program counter will go and fetch the next instruction to be executed. So the bus is a collection of wire used for communication between the internal components of the computer. The address bus is used to point memory location. A decoder, a digital circuit, is used to is used to point to the specific memory location where the word can be located. The the address register is connected with the address bus, which provides the address of the instruction. The data bus is used to transfer data between the memory and the CPU. The data bus is bidirectional and the address bus is unidirectional. So the control bus controls both read and write operation. The read operation fetch data from the memory, transfer to the MDR. The single connection line performs two operations like read and write using 0 or 1. Okay. Also, the write operation transfers data from the MDR to memory. The organization is shown in figure 3.3. So here you can see that the the address bus and the data bus. Okay, so the address bus takes the address and the data bus is carrying data. Okay, so here you can see that the data bus is bidirectional and the address bus is unidirectional. So the uh, read operation fetches data from memory and transfer to MDR, which is memory data register. And a single control line performs two operations like read and write operation using 0 and 1. Okay, so 0 means it is a read operation. In write mode it is 1. Okay, so in read mode, if you want to read it means, then read mode will be 1 and write mode will be 0. And if you want to write the information, then write mode will be 1 and read mode will be 0. So this will be working in different states. Okay, so here you can see that CPU contains MAR and MDR. So this can MAR can access address bus, MDR can access data bus. So the control unit is connected with memory or word. Okay, so it will tell whether read operation or write operation. So to read operation means in which address the information is stored, it will be read. It will be read. Okay, so the control unit will tell whether to read or to write. Okay, so read means at the particular address the data will be read. Write means at the particular address the data will be stored. So this is the working of this connection buses connectivity between CPU and memory. The word in the RAM has the same size of memory data. Okay, so MDR uh, is the register that will have the word size. Okay, so if the word is 8 bits, then the MDR must be 8 bits. Okay, so if MDR is lesser than the word size, then the data which is stored inside the memory will not be passed. All the datas of the word will not be transferred in MDR. So if the processor is if the processor is an 8-bit processor like Intel 8085, the MDR and the word of the RAM both has 8 bits. If the size of the MDR is 8 bits, then it can be connected with a word in the memory which is also 8 bits size. The data bus has 8 parallel wires to transfer 8 bits either from MDR to word or word to MDR. Based on the control read or write, the control line is labeled as R or W, uh, which becomes one means read operation and 0 means write operation. So figure 3.4 shows the content of MDR and the word before the read operation, and also figure 3.5 shows the content of the MDR and the word after read operation. So here you can see that MDR has some bits, zeros and ones, and MDR read write operation. Okay, so this control signal will be transferred from memory to MDR. So the read operation transfers the data from word to memory data register. The write operation transfers the data from MDR to the word. So with this we'll finish the class today. We'll see the rest of the things in the next class. Thank you, students.